So as we look at this, you have an ability to customize what things appear and what things don't appear just by clicking on the sort menu, and just deciding on sort of what kind of view you want. Also, you can click on filters and then you can start adding in a filter, which would change the overall view of the conversations coming in. You'll have team views. You're going to have personal view. So team view is if you have more than one user in your account. This is brand new here. You now have a search area here that you can actually search for things that contain, for example, audio would bring up all of the messages that contain audio. So real quick, I can see all the messages that actually have audio written in it. So this is really good if you want to find something really quickly. You can actually just use this search box up in there, which is super cool. Let's see what else it's got. There's so much going on in here. It's awesome. Obviously, on the left-hand side, you've got the records of people now. And in this area now, something new as well. On the right-hand side, you can actually see all the contact details. You can also edit the contact details. So where you used to have the conversation, and then you used to have to go into contacts, and then you'd have to edit some of the elements of the contact. You don't actually have to do that anymore. Everything's in here. So as you're reading a record, on the right-hand side, you can edit on the right anything to do with that particular contact record. Um, it automatically saves. So if you're going to change something, you just put your cursor in there and it will quickly do either a green check mark or it will just quickly refresh to tell you that it's been saved. A classic example is email address. If it needs to be re-verified, so obviously it pings it and checks that it's actually working, you would just click on the re-verify just to make sure everything is the way it should be. So that's cool. Do not disturb settings now are here, so you can just see if they unsubscribed from any of your information. Actions, you can very quickly add them to workflows. Now, one thing in here I will add is that I've already customized my overall look and feel. So yours might look slightly different because here you can see all I want to see is somebody's tags. So if I go on to Leslie, I can see that she's been tagged because I looked up her name based on the fact that she had an email address. She filled out a form and she subscribed to the newsletter. So in here, if I do a quick refresh, you'll quickly see that I could have owners, followers, and all kinds of different fields that could actually be in here as well. And you just hide or show fields and just edit the way you want contacts to look inside of contacts. So bear in mind, we're still in the conversations tab. And up here on the right-hand side, I can see all the contact details. I can see all of the activity that's been happening, all the appointments that have been getting booked. I can see upcoming appointments. So there's one that's upcoming. What's cool about this as well, I can click in here, edit this appointment, for example, and it doesn't go off to calendars like it used to. It actually opens up everything inside a conversation. So in the past, you would have to go to calendars, make the changes, and hit save in calendars, and then go back to the conversations tab or go back to calendar or contacts. And in here, I can do it all inside the conversations tab. So this guy, I rescheduled his appointment and I was able to do it inside of the conversations tab as I was having a conversation with him. And obviously I can see all of our conversations going backwards and forwards like this. Also on the right hand side, any tasks, I can quickly add a task. Again, tasks used to be inside of contacts. Now I can create a task for myself while I'm actually in the conversations tab speaking to this guy. I can quickly update and create tags for this person, which is awesome. I can also see all of his payments, and I can also see anything that's upcoming. And if I click on this link, it would actually go straight to the transaction or straight to the subscription or straight to the invoice. For example, Gemma, here's her transactions. And obviously, if I wanted to, I could update her card on file, create a subscription, create an invoice, manage the way she pays, create an estimate. all inside of one tab, the conversations tab. So it's made it super simple. So look, here she has an invoice. Here she has a transaction. If I click on this, it opens up a quick new page with the model of exactly what her invoice looks like. And hopefully you can see this window and there's her invoice. So everything is clean, everything is tidy, everything is organized. And finally, I can go into notes. And as I'm on the phone with her, if I wanted to, I can quickly create a note for this person. Super, super awesome to have all of this now inside of the conversations tab. But there's more. Obviously, if you look on the top, I'm able to do all of this stuff with her. Look, I can look at all the conversations. I can send a text. I can make a call. I can do a WhatsApp. I can send an email. I can write internal comments, contacts, appointments. So much more in here. I can obviously call her just by clicking on the call button and so on. And as per normal, if you want to send something to someone, like create a text, you can actually do that just by the bottom modal right there. And as per normal, all of our little links are at the bottom as well. Okay, so there's your conversations. That's changed.